Alright, so I'll just be running through creating a new console app in C# without using Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. I'll be going through XML serialization, creating a list of data, serializing it, and then taking that list of data to Unity and displaying it. I don't know what to fill the rest of this video with, because I'll just talk about these are exercises I do to get familiar with any kind of language. So I'll be creating classes or structs of data, tables of data, how to manipulate that data, serializing the data, and deserializing the data. And I guess in Unity, if you look into any kind of tutorial, you will find scriptable objects. And you might think that you could save and load using scriptable objects, but I think that's only an in-editor thing. And honestly, you're just better off just using C# classes, even in the case of scriptable objects. The only time it's nice to have a scriptable object is if you're in like a game studio or trying to impress people to hire you, and you have like this specialized editor tooling that makes everything look all nice and pretty. But if all you care about is just looking through data and getting a specific index of data, then you just want like an array of shit, which is basically a list. So I'm just going to be rambling to fill up the video so it's not complete dead air. So when you're making a new console app for C#, it would be .NET new console app, or even checking your compiler options, it's just .NET. You can probably just search it up online on the Microsoft sites. I think Odin shares a lot of similarities with C# in terms of its compiler options, like how you build an Odin would be Odin, the file, and then dash file. So that would be like Odin and then like game.odin file dash file. Wait, no, it's like Odin run file name dash file. And then in C# it would be .NET run. Meanwhile, if you're doing some kind of like C thing, you're gonna have to make sure you have all your headers and all your .h files and your .c files. And if you're linking .o files, you're gonna have to have .o files first or something like that. And then you want to specify whether or not you're creating an object file or an actual executable file. Or I don't know what the difference is between a library and a .o file. It might be just the same thing, honestly. Or someone would probably be like, well, actually, a .o file is actually just one component, while a library can be multiple components into one that doesn't have like a main executable inside. And it's like, oh, geez, thanks. Okay, so like .o files could have like main inside. Well, I guess they could. Maybe I shouldn't talk shit. Maybe I shouldn't ramble. I guess if you follow me on Twitter, you can catch me being unhinged as fuck. Like sometimes tech Twitter pisses me off. Like fucking cringe. Like who gives a fuck about your stack and your heap? Those are just data structures. Honestly, like I would rather spurg out about memory addresses and the underlying data containers of assembly before I give a fuck about what my stack or heap does. Okay. What else? Maybe if I ramp. No, I'll fit it in. Fuck it. Casey Moritori, Molly Rocket, you see Moritori on Twitter, X, whatever. So he usually goes into in-depth technical analysis about the underlying reasonings for performance software. Pretty vague, but sometimes his feed shows up on my Twitter. I don't mind him. I kind of don't like, okay, I'm like 30, and I'm being mad as fuck about like dudes that are like 18, maybe like 25 maybe. And it's like, Jesus, man, fuck, dude. But so I'll just kind of highlight some of this stuff that kind of talk about, like GCC, in the words of God's strongest programmer, Terry Davis, bless his soul. One of his interviews he talked about how he doesn't like GCC because they don't teach programmers how to recognize a repeated thing. However, I'm just gonna like probably screen share, have like a image that shows, a couple of images. Well, image because while you see the tweet, about how these are unnecessary assembly instructions that are, even if you don't understand assembly, you could very clearly tell that these are repeated instructions because, yeah. And yet, when Casey says it, all of a sudden people are like, oh, wow, very, very intelligent. But then, my GOAT! Let's fucking go! Terry Davis, everyone's memeing on him if he's fucking like schizo loser until he's fucking dead. And then people are like, oh, well, wait a minute, maybe this guy's actually, pretty good. I'm like, fuck, man. You guys are fucking assholes sometimes. Another thing would be, he was responding to someone that was, talking about, x86 architecture, how it likes to pad to not have any wasted space. And they pad it by, I don't know if the tweet goes into it, but in the words of Terry Davis, the CPU architecture is, taking CISC instructions and turning it back into RISC and, scheduling and pipelining everything just to fit into these, 32 or 64-bit blocks to not have any wastage. And yet people rediscover that and, and yeah, it's like, well, I don't know, bro, like, fuck. Maybe 20 years from now, people will be like, oh, well, I can't believe people actually, it's like garbage collection, what a piece of shit that was. It's like, well, cool. Maybe you should have listened or, took note that, like, maybe people aren't being taught how to program. Ah, shit. Alright, so-called fucking ramble. Damn it. I guess if I'm talking shit, I'm punching above my weight class. Another person I kinda don't like is John Carmack. Well, at least, like, the people grapefruit techniquing everything he does. Like, yeah, it's impressive. He made Doom and, he made the fast inverse square root thing where, he made this evil bit hack where he's pre-calculating the math function and storing the cache result before he does the inverse, before he's inversing that result just to get the fast inverse square root. But, I mean, if you read about John Carmack or whatever, or at least like how Doom was made and stuff like that, you can quickly begin to realize that, anyone could be John Carmack, like, it's not that hard. If you're truly passionate about what you do and you're willing to read and consume any and all material about your craft, you can quickly pick up the pieces that people don't see or don't care to understand, group it all together and create your own thing. Because like that's what you did. Like, you fucking just read through like some papers, because at the time people were like scrambling or theory crafting, like creating their own 3D engines and all that stuff, or what else can be possible with computers with the given hardware of the time, and and you just read through, I won't say white papers, but I'm not even sure if it's white papers, any kind of like technical papers pertaining to like painter algorithms, because but like now us in the modern times, we don't really necessarily deal with that too much because everything under the hood in terms of displaying graphics is based off of like rasterization. So we're creating like these windows, and we're creating memory buffers that fill in those windows. So like, what the hell is a window? A window would be two triangles that make a quad, which would be like a flat 2D thing. So like your screen is a quad, and yeah. Well, that's his theory, anyways. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that, but like, yeah. I'm just trying to talk shit and ramble. Okay, so, god damn it, man. I'm still not even close to getting done filling up dead air. Fuck. Okay, so follow me on Twitter. Why aren't I just drawing like big boob anime women and VTubers and all that shit? Well, it's kind of depressing when you look at other artists and you got like 50k plus followers. Meanwhile, you're like under 1k Andy. And, yeah, it fucking sucks, bro. Like, man. But, okay, so, even if I'm not being like a little bitch boy here, like, oh man, also just like programming, like I could find, I could see the creative leeway where even if I'm explorative about like whatever I do, I could see how I can pivot into something else that like, it's not gonna be a complete waste of time. What else? I guess for games, I'm kind of focusing on adult content and WASM stuff, so stuff you could play on your browser, because I haven't messed around with native HTML stuff because jeez, like, please don't make me learn Java, please. But I'm about to go to prison, man. Please don't make me learn JavaScript. No. But no, not. I tried some frameworks like 3JS and Phaser 3. I don't like them; they're too complex. Well, 3JS definitely is, but Phaser 3 is so like I bought the book for Phaser 3, like learn how to program using the Phaser 3 network framework with 101 different game examples, and like all the game examples were crap. Like they were all structured the same way. They're basically like, here's game 1 and it changes variable A, and here's game 2 and it changes variable B. Very simplistic stuff. Like game 1 is like guy moves up and down, and game 2 is guy moves left and right. And it's like, Jesus. But anyway, so I bought the book or whatever, and it cost me $10. Like, that Phaser's not for me, like, whatever. Then a month later, they charged me again, because they put you on a automatic subscription list, because like, oh wow, since you bought the Phaser book, you must really like Phaser, and we're going to put you on an automatic renewal subscription towards the Phaser Foundation. Thank you for donating $1 towards Phaser Foundation, sir. And it's like, fucking scumbags, bro. Oh, man, like, it's not even like social cues, man. It's like just bad business and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I might not like Godot, or maybe even Game, or even Game Maker. But like, if someone told me like, hey, should I learn Phaser 3? I'll tell them, fuck no, don't. At least with Godot, I'll be like, well, these are the criticisms I have with Godot and stuff like that. Or these are the criticisms with like Game Maker. But yeah. But like Phaser 3, fuck no, don't use it.